one place you should go. Watch the TDS Wrestling Show. With sexy Sam Watts looking like CM Punk. Terry Johnson with his huge doofer chunk. Not forgetting the third member of the gang. Darren DDC Carpenter with a bang. Well done, Darren! Join us for all reviews and watch-alongs. With plenty of jokes related to slongs. We give you all the news that you need to know. From World Wrestling Entertainment to All Elite Wrestling. We rate the body wrestling.
Well, hello guys. Welcome to the TDS Wrestling Show in Pro Wrestling World. I was once the showstopper, the headliner of the main event. Now I'm the CM Punk Mark. Name below. And next to me is my brother, my actual brother he's my brother. You are my brother. We've got to stop saying the other another bit because, you know, new walking weapon. He's had the new edition. He signed the papers. We are officially brothers. Due for Dave by night and Terry Bloody Johnson by day. And finally, say his name, you will appear.
Back!
DDC with a bang is here. This
I'm
is
so glad to be back.
Oh, it gets better. It gets even better, guys. We got a special guest for you. We have a very special guest for you. No, I told you. I did tell you, didn't I, Terry?
Yeah, he is handsome.
I told you he's handsome. Look at all these European Championships hung around everywhere. Hello, Ben. How you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you?
We're fantastic. Absolutely. Oh my God. I'm overwhelmed right now. How do I turn this bloody music off? This StreamYard thing, Ben's amazing. I told you it's
fantastic.
There we go. Finally got rid of that.
Right,
Anyway,
I love your studio chat.
It's is it a studio? It's a studio office.
Headquarters.
It's HQ.
Looks like a studio to me.
Yeah. When did I build this? 2 years ago.
Yeah, and Terry supervised.
Terry watched, and I did all the work. That's literally what happened.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Fantastic.
We just wanted to check some technical shiz. Can you hear everything, Darren?
I can hear on a massive delay, so I'm just going to sit back and let you guys have a discussion.
We're trying to work out how to do like a
hi, by the way.
Three-way
Welcome
audio
to the
thing.
show.
So, guys, for those... Oh, by the way, Ben, you are live right now on our channels, and yeah, you're live everywhere. Oh, who's Wrestle Talk? That's a new one. We do have a... Yeah, what are we doing on air? Yeah, this is great. So, guys, we are here to discuss the WWE European Championship. Not just our one of our favourite championship belts, but Ben's as well. Don't forget Ben is, as you can see in the background, there it is. Ben, may I ask you where you got that belt from?
A unofficially licensed seller of wrestling goods, shall we say?
Is it an unofficial name of Neil by any chance?
No.
Oh, I was not Neil from Big Blue Cage. Okay.
It's not a Neil one, actually. This was before I knew Neil. I have got an absolutely stunning, I don't know if you can see it, if I raise my studio setup a bit, I've got an absolutely stunning Intercontinental Championship.
Oh.
That is handiwork of Neil, and it's weighty and it's beautiful, and it's signed by many an Intercontinental champion. My European title, which is a bit less weighty, is signed by 3 holders of the championship. So it's signed by William Regal, it's signed by Al Snow, and it's signed by Kurt Angle, who I think we sometimes overlook as a European champion, but that was in fact his first title in the WWF.
It sure was. That's a fantastic point, to be fair.
Yeah.
You're right about this, because I know you've just seen your favourite belt of all time.
Yeah, that white Inter.
Yeah, Terry, a huge fan of the white IC belt.
How many people signed that one then, Ben?
Oh, that is signed by obviously my good friend Mark Mero, signed by RVD, signed by Dolph Ziggler / Nick Nemeth, however we want to refer to him, signed by Kurt Angle, and signed by Ken Shamrock. I've got on
That's
there
like the
as well.
night. That's like the mid-90s version, isn't it? That
Yep, that is
IC
the
by the looks of
definitive
it.
title. But I think they are the two most beautiful belts to come out of wrestling, with the Winged
Yeah.
Eagle being a
Yeah.
very close third.
The White Inter, then the Winged Eagle, then the European for me. They're my top three.
Yeah.
Have you
Good
got
stuff.
the Winged Eagle there?
I have, but it is on my other wall. So I have a few. I have two that I get to look at over the other side of the room.
Yeah, I think Terry just made a new best friend.
Yeah, but, well, you ask my wife how she feels about this room, and you might get a very different response. But
No, I want to ask a question. How does your wife feel about this room, Ben? I want to know.
this room,
Yeah.
she puts up with it as long as this
Oh,
room
right.
is kept out of sight and she doesn't ever see it. It's a room full of wrestling belts and Ghostbusters memorabilia. And then on the other side of the room is my much more professional side for my PR business. So there are two sides to my world, and my two podcasts which work in dual. So whenever I'm doing Wrestling Life, this is my backdrop.
No, I think that is bloody beautiful, Ben. I love
Thank
it.
you.
The thing is with me and the Tezzy Bear, we were actually doing when it was the TNS wrestling show when we first started 3 years ago. We were doing it in my living room, and then my wife decided it's the podcast or me, and I was like, well, I'm gonna have to demote myself to the
It was
garage.
a fun living room.
It was a fun living room. We
It
had
was a nice, comfy.
we had a
armchair.
fantastic experience,
I
but
had
it was
I had
time.
a couple experiences.
We had to build this. The good job I work in the construction industry, otherwise we'd be screwed.
I get you to build mine. Yours looks great. I love it.
Yeah, it was a piece of piss, honestly. It was easy peasy. It's easy for a carpenter. You know, we have to cover literally every single aspect of it. Well, how do we start with this? Because European Championship, I mean, we were watching, I mean, you as well, Ben. I assume you were watching this all when it was all happening back in 97.
Yeah, I would say 96, 97 was in many ways were peak fandom years for me, really. Probably 92 and then followed by that period, because that was just such a fantastic 12 months or so for WWF in particular. I think the Monday Night War just made the WWF raise its game so much, and that European title was such a pivotal kind of, I don't want to say prop, but a kind of a pivotal aspect of that, the influx of the Attitude Era. Because as I said to you off air, I was there at the Birmingham NEC for one night only when that European title was the headline attraction for the Bulldog versus Shawn Michaels in the most controversial match I've ever seen live. And that title, you know, for a period of time was massively influential and had an amazing impact.
Yeah, definitely. Is our screen frozen?
You've gone fuzzy.
Yeah, we have.
I think it may have.
Hang on, Ben. What has happened there?
So welcome everyone to the TDS Wrestling Show podcast, for which I appear to be presenting now in full.
You're a bit
Hope
fuzzy,
you're
aren't
enjoying
you,
it.
Terry?
There we go. There we go. Damn bloody thing. We had
Well,
this
look at
problem
that.
the other week. I don't know why it keeps doing it. There we go. There we are. That's better. Three handsome men and a Ben Veal. There we go.
There you go. The boy band.
I thought he was very handsome.
He is very I told you guys he was very handsome before we went on air.
Yeah,
I
you
told
are very handsome.
So we're handsome, and he's very handsome.
He's very handsome. You've won this one, Ben,
I like this. Cheers.
for sure.
Is that vodka you're drinking there, Ben?
I wish.
Right then, so the tournament was held in February of 1997. For those of you who don't know, Darren, you're going to learn as we go with this.
I know
one.
this.
Oh, you do know this?
I know it happened.
Okay. Darren was a little bit late on with WWE. It's 2001.
My parents wouldn't allow it.
His parents were bloody mean to him, I'll tell you that, Ben. So, anyway, tournament was held in February 1997, with the finals being held in Berlin, Germany. Mm-hmm. The two contestants in the final were, of course, one of our two favourites of all time, Owen Hart and the British Bulldog, in a very special Monday Night Raw held in Berlin.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, for me personally, this match I feel like is underrated. It's not spoken about enough, but it is one hell of an amazing match.
Yeah, this is like probably one of my favourite New Gen matches. In fact, it's probably one of my greatest matches of all time. It's definitely in my top 5. And I've seen a lot of matches.
Yeah.
Yeah, great match.
I always find I get
think
emotional when it comes to these two, but Go on, Ben.
I think it gets overlooked, that match, because of the lighting, because it was very much a German house show. It didn't have the same production values as standard WWF. So I think it in some minds it gets a bit lost. But yeah, absolute technical masterpiece, that match. Incredible.
Oh yeah. It was. You and I watched it about 2 years ago,
Yeah.
knowing the history of Owen and Davey Boy, but I get emotional watching it because it's just such a magical match. It is just fantastic. Them two just glide in the ring, and they just put on a perfect wrestling match, in my opinion. It was just phenomenal, and one of my favourites ever. I loved it. It was a great match. So Bulldog wins the match in a great victory. One of the most underrated matches in history, in my opinion. So the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith, famously loses the championship belt in an event where, Ben, you were at this event.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you take the lead on this. This is big.
Well, I was not only at the event, but I was second row right behind the Bulldogs family. So he had Diana and his sister and all his family were literally in a row in front of me. So I was kind of watching that emotion as a 13-year-old huge Bulldog fan. And we all went into that. The Bulldog had dedicated it to his sister, who was soon to pass away from terminal cancer. So that day he had made the dedication live on air that he was going to win that match. And to all intents and purposes, that he was booked to win that match. The whole of One Night Only was built around Bulldog winning. And in a very kind of that era Shawn Michaels move, at the very last minute, there was backstage politicking to reverse the decision and have Michaels go over. In one of the weirdest bits of booking I think you'll ever see, because I don't know if you chaps remember that match, but the Bulldog basically gets beaten down 4-on-1 for about 15 minutes to the point that he passes out and leaves his crews passed out. And at that point, the Hart Foundation flood the ring, who knows what they were doing for the rest of the time. It just made everyone look ridiculous, apart from DX, which was just obviously in its infancy at that point. One thing I remember about that was the closest I've ever seen to a genuine riot in a wrestling arena. Everyone was livid. I believe that was the last time that glass bottles were ever sold at a wrestling event, because people were literally hurling glass bottles at Shawn and Hunter, and you can see a bit of footage where one bounces off Shawn as he's being carried by Hunter out of the ring. Like, that was 12,000 people who were so angry, not just because the Bulldog was lost, but because he was essentially booked to be humiliated in front of the hometown crowd. I mean, allegedly, it was all supposed to then lead to a payoff 6 months later in April '98 when they returned to Manchester, and Bulldog will get his revenge. But obviously, Montreal happened, Bulldog's out in WCW weeks later, and the rest is history. But I'll always remember that night, because it was one of those very early nights where you're like, wow, like, wrestling's really changing. It was a real precursor, I think, that night to the Attitude Era.
Yeah, I mean, I'm quite obsessed with this era in '97, where we're coming out of the New Generation era, going into the Attitude Era. It's just that bubble that they're sat in is like, this event is a huge part of that, massive. And again, I think the match as well. I think the match is relatively good. I mean, Shawn Michaels, the second to none, one of the best ever. You know, Davey Boy, again, one of the best. And they seem to work quite well together, because I feel like, well, Terry can vouch for me on this, some of the matches they had in '96 didn't quite flow that well.
No, they didn't know. You know, I won't even Ben, the match itself at '97. I wasn't even a fan. I personally didn't think that match even like stole the show. I preferred the Owen match and Vader and the Undertaker and Bret Hart match to this one.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't know. Something about Shawn Michaels and Bulldog, I just don't think ever worked, and I don't know why, because they're both great talents.
Allegedly, David. This is going via Bret Hart's memoir, but allegedly, Davey found out he was dropping the title mere moments before walking through the curtain. So his whole dream of having another SummerSlam '92 moment was overturned at the last minute. I mean, I think you go back to those two early on. Like, I was watching Royal Rumble '95 the other day. I mean, those two are just seamless. Go back to their work they did in late '92. Like, they did have Bulldog and Shawn had incredible chemistry working together when they were on. some of their matches they had in mid '96, I like their King of the Ring '96 match, I absolutely love. I do think they had great timing together. I don't know what their relationship was like outside of the ring, but there was something that clicked between the two of them. But I agree that one night only match, I think it's not one of their best, and I think probably marred by the fact that going in, his heart probably wasn't in it.
And I get that, because the whole run of them two in WWF, it was always Bulldog putting Sean over. If it's Saturday night main event, Royal Rumble 95, 96. And I felt like Bulldog needed this one, especially under the circumstances, and Sean had to go over. And I don't feel like him going over, I mean, it gave him real cheap heat, easy heat for sure, but what did he actually do with that title? He just made it look like a joke. And it took a while for them to make that title relevant again, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, it never recovered from, I'm sure, what we're going to come on to, which is the next title change. Like it never recovered from December '97. But it's funny when you look back and you watch Survivor Series '97, you watch the screw job, and there's something quite surreal about seeing Shawn Michaels walking into that main event as the European champion. Because of course this would be the same. Would be the same title that 4 years later, like Midian's fishing out of a trash can. Amazing to think like where it started versus where it ended.
Yeah, I think for us as well, being Europeans, it kind of hurts a bit to see what is actually a really good looking championship belt, which us Europeans have really got behind, and it just kind of feels like it has just fallen really flat, and it makes us feel pretty deflated,
Yeah, but it did have, as we'll go through tonight, it did have some real high spots, the European title.
Oh yeah, definitely, 100%. But this next spot, not so much. So, anyway, so from this point, Shawn Michaels defends the championship belt in December of '97 against Triple H in an absolute joke of a match. And he's pretty much awarded the European Championship. Did you see this, Darren? Well, it was literally like, there you go, buddy.
I've seen it in hindsight, yeah.
Yeah, right. Oh, crikey.
Just like when you gave me that one the other day. Thank you very much, indeed.
Did I? Oh, right, there we go.
You passed ownership, remember?
Yes.
So it works.
I don't remember signing that one, Darren.
Well, you're going to get the Inter that's coming. So.
Oh, yeah. I'll be taking my European belt to FT-Lo, by the way, Ben. I need to get D-Lo to sign that.
I'll be taking my one,
yeah,
you mean.
You got to do it.
What's interesting about that Shawn Triple H match is everyone points towards the finger point of doom, don't they, in 1999 as like the turning point for WCW. Everyone just glosses over that very late 97 joke match that they spent all night billing.
Yeah. We said this. We've had this chat. Yeah, this one just gets forgotten about so easy.
I think this is with a championship involved, it just takes a piss. I personally feel.
Yeah. From that point on, this was always the title was always struggling to survive after that moment.
I believe this was the second title defense of this bout as well, since it got created back earlier in the year.
See, I think didn't Bulldog defend the championship up against Ken Shamrock at SummerSlam?
Don't know. Not that I believe. I might be wrong.
I have a funny feeling he may have. Yeah, did he defend the championship against Ken Shamrock?
Yeah. I believe so.
Yeah, SummerSlam 97. Yeah. So there wasn't many title defenses, in all fairness, but
no.
But I think at least when Triple H, is awarded the belt, or however you want to put it, he gets some good matches from Owen Hart. So Owen Hart wins it briefly from Triple H in January of 1998. But then loses it in March of '98, just before WrestleMania 14. So at least the European Championship gets its first WrestleMania spot. And to be fair, I kind of feel like it was probably one of the best Mania matches for the European Championship.
Yeah,
it was a great match. Triple H, one of the best. Owen Hart, one of the best ever in our opinion. A great match, and it kind of made the title a little bit more relevant again,
Yeah, well, it's continuing that legacy of the Bulldog, wasn't it? And felt like there was pride on the line with that one, absolutely.
100%. 100%. And then, yeah, so 1998, one of my favourite years of all time. So in July of 98, Triple H loses the European Championship to one of my favourites. Would you better recognise?
Oh, yes.
D'Lo Brown. Cannot wait to meet D'Lo, man. I cannot wait.
Only a few weeks away.
Oh, he's
Yeah, well,
fantastic.
4
One of my favourites.
4 weeks away.
Really.
Yeah. Oh, bloody camera again. What the?
Are you going for the love of wrestling, Ben?
Still in the moment. Still confirming my schedule at the moment. Not 100% sure.
Nah.
Hopefully, might be there.
Just trying to sort out the camera here, Ben. I don't know why it's
Okay, don't you worry.
this happens. There we go. Ta-da. Yeah. Yeah, we're hoping to see you there, Ben. If you can make it, it would be amazing. It would be great.
You can get Dino to sign your European Championship, Ben, if you haven't already.
Not much room on there, but yeah, might squeeze him in if I can. But yeah, I think he was one of the definitive,
sure.
European champions. Absolutely.
I agree. I feel like D'Lo and Sean Waltman, X-Pac, like that year, they made that championship bout really relevant again.
Yeah,
and
I
we had
agree.
some really good matches out of all of them. Both guys, not just between the two of them, but with other opponents. It was great year for the European Championship in my view.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I think in many
Put
ways a
D'Lo
better
in
year
next
than better than the Intercontinental title in '98, actually, because it was very consistent between D'Lo and X-Pac for quite a long time. That was like a real highlight of Raw for me when all the big angles were going on. You knew those two would always deliver in the ring. They were great.
That's the thing. We more or less had 6 months worth of D'Lo and X-Pac facing each other.
Is this the year where D'Lo defended against Val Venus, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's right.
SummerSlam.
Yeah, that was all right.
Yeah.
SummerSlam.
Yeah, it's quite interesting for us three because we've just rewatched the entire of 1998, all the Raws, all the pay-per-views, some Sunday night heats, and literally like covered every aspect of the whole year. And
Wow.
yeah, we've
That's a time commitment.
literally seen the whole thing. What's that? Sorry.
That's a time commitment, that is.
We've got loads of time. It's easy. Yeah, no, I think 98 was a great year for D'Lo, great year for X-Pac, and yeah, it was one of the best years for the European Championship. It was a really good year. Then we go into 1999, which is where the first part of 99, I feel like, here we go again. It's just been brushed under the carpet. It's not been well looked after at all.
No.
So X-Pac goes into 1999 as the European Championship, but then loses it to Shane McMahon.
Here comes the money.
Yeah, let's just spend some money and just buy a bag to put it in.
Yeah. Well, he did do a couple good matches with it, and then he decided
That's
to
the
put it
thing.
in his bag
Did-
and retire as champion, didn't he? Or
Did you watch that WrestleMania 15 match between Shane and X-Pac?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, like it was actually okay. It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Despite his lack of training at the time.
Yeah, but then he retires the championship in March the 30th of 99, and then it's not until June is where Midian famously finds the European Championship in Shane's bag and awards him the belt. So the belt is now reinstated just from finding it in a bag, which
Is this
Sounds a little bit.
Midian or
I'm
naked
glad he found
Midian,
it.
just to clarify?
this is Midian. So this is still Ministry Midian.
That's a relief to all.
Yeah. He was
Yeah.
naked Midian a little bit later.
I have actually left the naked Midian part out of my notes. I think it feels.
That's a
I don't
whole
think it needs to
episode
be
right
put.
there, isn't it?
I thought you liked a bit of nakedness.
Well, Dennis Knight is an incredible guy, and to be fair, he enjoyed doing it. So good for him, you know.
Yeah, fair enough.
He was
not to enjoy.
bloody nuts. Yeah. Fully loaded 99. D'Lo Brown finally wins back his respected European title and defends it just like he did the prior year, which is I'm well happy about this. I think the hype from that event when D'Lo won the European Championship, the crowd were quite. Oh yes, finally he's got it back. This is great, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
They were really hyped for that. Do you know what? I think I got Fully Loaded 99 somewhere down there on VHS tape. Where is it? No, that's 98. Where's 99? I can see it. It's right at the back. I've got a load of VHS tapes in one of my cabinets here, Ben.
Nice.
Quite a few. But yeah. Going into 99, the rest of 99, we get throughout the rest of the year, the title is held by D'Lo Brown, Jeff Jarrett, we finally get the first ever Euro Continental Champion, D'Lo Brown,
Yeah.
and the second being Jeff Jarrett. This is around the summertime
Yeah,
SummerSlam time.
SummerSlam.
Yes, that's fantastic.
We get some really good stuff out of it. It's really good. But then again, the European Championship is awarded to Mark Henry the night after SummerSlam '99. Well, I know, because just because Mark Henry helped.
Yeah. It's just
He was a good friend.
it's crap.
It's not great.
It's just like the year prior, like a couple of years prior, Shawn Michaels handing it to Triple H, and now bloody Jeff Jarrett does the same for Mark Henry, and then Shane McMahon does it earlier in the year for Mideon, so to speak. I just feel like this title really did get a lot of crap.
It really
Oh,
did.
yeah.
Vince Russo,
right.
Russo, isn't it? He was in charge at this time.
Vince
creative.
Russo,
Yeah, Russo's probably in the background, probably.
yeah,
Doing strange things.
So so on the episode of SmackDown, where were we to? I've missed a bit here. So yeah, after Mark Henry, the European Championship is then held by Val Venus, the British Bulldog once again, Mark Henry, Jeff Jarrett, and D'Lo Brown. So then we go into year 2000, one of my favourite years of all time. Absolutely love year 2000. Episode of SmackDown, Kurt Angle wins his first ever singles championship, being the European title, from Val Venus.
It's true.
So if I remember rightly, Val Venus won the European title in a triple threat match at Armageddon.
yeah.
Yeah, Val Venus, D'Lo Brown, and British Bulldog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
If I remember rightly, that was a good match.
Bulldog has a short run with the
We'll
championship,
find out soon.
doesn't he?
on our
Very
timeline.
short run, yeah.
He has a very brief run. He has a second run with the European title around that period.
I remember Survivor Series '99. Where he's coming out because it's him and the Mean Street Posse against. I can't remember. Maybe the Headbangers and another team. But I remember he's holding a European title then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he has a brief run as European champion, I think, for about a month.
Yeah, I think he has another. Yeah, I think he does. He has another quick reign in 2000. I think.
No, he'd have been done. He was out of WWE.
No, he was
back
done.
then.
You're right. He was done. Yeah.
Yeah.
So so Kurt Angle wins the European Championship. Well, let me just check my notes. He wins the title. And then, we get to No Way Out 2000, where Kurt Angle's going in as European champion, and then wins the Intercontinental Championship from Chris Jericho.
Yeah. That was a good opener.
That was a hell of... No Way Out
But
2000.
he's only the second Eurocontinental champion.
That's
after
correct. Yeah,
D'Lo Brown.
that's correct, young man.
Is he the second or the third?
Second,
I
as
would
far as
just-
I know.
second.
I would say second, yeah.
There we go. And then we get into WrestleMania 2000, where Kurt Angle loses not just the Intercontinental Championship to Chris Benoit. We allowed to say his name?
It happened.
What did you just say?
I take it back.
Cancel the whole fucking.
I take it back. I would. No, I don't want to lie. I reckon he was third Euro Inter.
Because I think
Jeff Jarrett was the second.
Yeah, that's how I see it.
D'Lo, Jeff Jarrett, and then Kurt Angle.
I would see Jeff Jarrett being a Eurocontinental only for one night.
Yeah, he was.
Was he?
He was. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
It went
we'd see
down
that.
as it. It went down as it.
Yeah,
Yeah, 100%.
it's very interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I don't bloody know, Darren. I was drunk.
Dido's the first.
he
That's
was
all that
getting
matters.
best at 10 years old.
Dido's
drunk.
number one. Fuck Kurt Angle. No.
The D-Day guy through and through.
Oh dear. Yeah, WrestleMania 2000 was interesting. So, yeah, Angle loses his Intercontinental Championship to Default, and Chris Jericho wins the European Championship
That went well.
for one day, and then the next night on Monday Night Raw, he loses it to Eddie Guerrero.
Fantastic.
That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Latino heat, baby.
That was
Now,
good.
and now we're fully back
Isn't
in
that
business.
involving
Eddie
China
Guerrero's
somehow?
Euro champion.
What's that, Darren?
Isn't that involving China somehow? Sorry, I'm on a delay, so if I interrupt you, I do apologise.
No, that's all right.
All right.
Yeah, you're right, Darren. So, at WrestleMania 2000, we've got there's a tag team match of some sort where I think it's the Radicals versus Too Cool and China. Mm-hmm. And the night after, China changes her mind and then She can't get enough of the Latino heat, can she?
No.
She helps Eddie win the European title.
One of my favourite times.
And then they create the little mamacita thing going on.
This is where I started to get full access to watching.
Your parents finally let you watch it around this time.
Yeah.
The second China
and
helped
this
Eddie.
kind of stuff's going on.
Yeah.
Better than Miss Kitty.
No, so
That was a great
yeah.
partnership, wasn't it? That just worked so well. Eddie in China was brilliant. That storyline.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. I think they were really good. Yeah.
Again, year 2000, I think a lot of great stuff comes out of that whole entire year.
Apart from Taz. The fuck happened there?
Yeah. Royal Rumble, amazing. WrestleMania, what the hell? SummerSlam. Yeah, not so. Yeah. So Eddie defends the title on Raw and SmackDown throughout the next few months, but then he finally loses it. Actually, no, I need to make a brief mention. Backlash 2000. Do you remember Eddie's opponent?
I want to say it wasn't Perry Saturn, was it? This
No.
one. That was a month.
That's Fully Loaded.
Oh God, you got me now by the testicles.
I do tend to do that quite often, yeah.
Oh God, no.
S.A. Rios.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. With Lita.
Yeah. That match. Have you ever done that one, Darren? Backlash 2000?
I think probably at the time.
God. S.A. Rios and Eddie
S.A.
Guerrero.
Rios was one of my favourites just from playing the games.
Yeah. What the hell? That was incredible.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Ezra Rios was pretty good.
He was very good.
Looks strange, but
He did look a bit odd.
Couldn't
Yeah.
speak much English. That's probably what held him back.
Yeah, I think so.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a hell of a great, probably one of my favourite title defences with Eddie Guerrero being European champion in this year. And then we get to Fully Loaded, where he loses the championship to Perry Saturn.
oh God,
Again, it's an okay match.
no,
You don't like this?
no.
I didn't mind
match-
this.
Didn't they go through the table through a clothesline?
Yeah, I think you might be right.
It was.
Clothesline?
Yeah, he clotheslined him and he stumbled, hit the table,
I
wobbled,
thought he
and
was
collapsed.
using a mop, not a clothesline.
No, he uses the mop later on.
Nah, this. I didn't like this match.
Hey?
I did not like this match.
No, I didn't mind it. It was okay.
I think I was expecting more though.
I had to watch it today to try and remind myself what the hell the match was like. It wasn't that bad.
Well, you gotta give something really, haven't you? It's kind of a forgotten one of the four. Needed something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
you give him Moppy.
Yeah.
That worked.
To be fair, he made that work.
He did make it work.
He did, yeah.
Still
So
talking
Perry
about
Saturn
it
defends-
5 years later.
Yeah, everyone loves Moppy. I think he still loves Moppy now.
Yeah.
So Perry Saturn defends the title twice throughout his reign, but loses it to Al Snow at the end of August on an episode of SmackDown. No, I did write it down. I did bloody write it down, didn't I?
Oh no.
No, did I? Yeah. Well, anyway, right. So middle of October on Raw 2000, the second European title win. Anyway, the second European to win the European title,
Ah, fantastic.
William Regal. Finally.
But hang on a second. Let's just not gloss over that because I think Al Snow's very brief European Championship run was brilliant. I remember talking to
It
Al about
wasn't
this last
bad.
year. Like, he had every week he was coming out dressed as a different character from somewhere in Europe. It was great fun.
He was.
He was only champion for about a month.
Everyone
and
loves
every
him,
week he was announced. What didn't he? One week he was from Transylvania. Another week it was ridiculous. Every week it was like
It
he'd
was,
come out
yeah, I
dressed,
suppose.
dressed as an Italian. It was funny.
It was very good, to be fair. I think as well, because for Al Snow, I kind of feel like that year, to start off, if you put with Steve Blackman, they're trying to form a tag team with him, when Al Snow's trying to give him charisma, and it didn't work out. And then I feel like Al Snow finally got a bit of a break around about this time. To be fair, it wasn't bad. You know?
I've got him. He signed my belt. I've got an Al Snow on there. I see him.
Love
As
it.
he's part of the legacy of this championship.
No, he did do very well. I would have liked to have seen him maybe do more the following year, but we didn't see a lot of Al Snow in 2001, though, did we? He
No,
was,
that little that very little running up of European title is a classic example of kind of dropping things before they get a chance. Because if they're given that another 3 or 4 months, we'd all still be talking about it as one of the great runs. But he kind of started it, had a few matches on heat, and then he just dropped it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't really remember it too well.
No, I had actually forgotten about that, to be fair, until you mentioned it, Ben, to be fair.
It was
But
fun.
then again, it should have been longer, you know? If it was a bit longer, then it would have been a lot more rememberable.
Yeah.
Going back to 98 with D'Lo, he was being billed to come from certain cities in Europe, if I remember rightly.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
he was from Lisbon, Portugal one time. I remember that.
There we go. Yeah. It's weird how, like, in 1998, I was 9 years old, and I still have got all this information, stuck in my head. I don't know how it hasn't gone, you know?
I think brains remember the important details in life.
That's right. If I can't remember my wedding anniversary, then, yeah. I have to pick bloody camera's gone. I have to pick a particular date so I remember certain things.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm a bit... I don't know why this is. Why is this bloody camera doing this? Sorry about this, guys. We are going to have to... there we go.
Surprise.
You see up my bloody nose now. Bloody hell.
Oh, dear.
We'll sort this out in a minute. Very irritating. Come on.
Happened Wednesday as well, didn't it?
It did happen Wednesday. There we go.
There
we
we
got
go.
past this.
I thought about this. That's a brand new phone as well. That's a freaking iPhone 16 Pro. And it's
it's a
playing up. Okay. So, after Al Snow's very famous European title run,
Yeah, that's better, Sam.
that's better. William Regal, the second European to win the European Championship. I mean, I'm personally quite happy about this. I was actually in attendance. I was trying to get my years right, so I always get this wrong. So, Rebellion 2000. William Regal defends the European Championship against Crash Holly.
Ah.
Oh, okay.
I'm sat there, and next I wasn't really paying attention to the match. I think I was tired, but before I know it, Crash Holly's won the European Championship, and
Yeah.
everyone's just erupting, and I'm like, well, what just happened? And I
But
just
doesn't
hear
he win it back again when they go back to the US?
Yeah, 2 days
Made no
later.
sense.
You just can't have a countryman winning their own country, can you? That's like classic.
Definitely
not.
That was.
It was just I've always liked Crash Holly, the Houdini of hardcore. You were never, none of us were expecting it, and I definitely wasn't because I
No, he
wasn't
was
paying enough
brilliant. He
attention.
was brilliant. Yeah.
Oh dear. So Regal regains the title 2 days later on a Monday Night Raw. So going into 2001, the title has the most defenses in its year. So apparently in the year 2001, the European title had the most defenses in that whole entire year. Apparently so.
Okay.
From Wikipedia. Test then defeats William Regal on the 22nd of January on a Monday Night Raw, and is a pretty successful champion in defending it on a regular basis.
Don't remember that, right?
You don't remember Test winning the European title?
Not really, no.
Being European champion. To be honest.
Yeah, me too.
It's weird because the only thing that probably reminds me of it is where we get to my favourite WrestleMania of all time, WrestleMania 17, where Test loses the European title to Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
Possibly.
but no one
That's a
remembers
match
from
I even
that.
forget is on the. I even forget that's on the card.
Was it mostly a run where he wasn't really featured on pay-per-views and just kind of heat and for look?
Yeah,
those things?
the thing is with Test, he had only just come out of this Test and Albert faction with Trish as well. So it was, what the hell do we do with these guys? Because Albert was with.
Oh no, I vaguely remember.
I knew
now
you'd remember, 'cause you like the X
TNA and X Factor.
X
and all
Factor
this,
had come
yeah.
into play. So
Okay.
Albert had just gone over to with Sean Waltman to become the X Factor. And Test was just like, what the hell do I do?
Very far back in my mind.
I knew you'd remember eventually.
I was looking at Trish most of the time.
But yeah, no, Eddie goes to, so Eddie wins the European title against Test at WrestleMania 17 from the interference of Dean Malenko and Perry Saturn. It's a pretty good match, to be fair. But Eddie loses the belt to Matt Hardy
Well,
only
wow.
a few weeks later.
That's fantastic.
Who actually did really well with the belt, to be honest.
You think so?
Matt Hardy did okay with it.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan.
He had a good little run there.
What do you think, then? Do you remember this?
Vaguely, I mean, for me, Matt Hardy singles is always that cruiserweight run he had as V1. That for me, is that was peak Matt V1 there. That was kind of peak with his Matt facts. This was kind of pre that, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Where
but-
he was kind of just finding his feet outside of the Hardy Boys. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
not really, not quite the
Yeah.
same era.
That's the only time I like Matt Hardy, to be fair.
You're not. No,
Nah, I'm not really a fan of Matt.
No,
He's
no.
Jeff's brother, isn't he?
you don't. You don't like Jeff, do you?
Not really, but
No.
I prefer Jeff to Matt.
Yeah,
I think everyone does, don't he?
I think so. But anyway, yeah. For me personally, I was not a great fan of this. You were, weren't you?
I wasn't a great fan of it.
You just like
I remember it.
Yeah.
And I remember being a massive Hardy's fan in general.
Mm.
So both of them I was rooting for, both of them at the time, and I was just happy that one of them had a belt, I guess. And it kind of blurred my vision on them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
The thing is, though, it just gets this is where I feel like things start to get worse for the championship again because, no disrespect to the Hurricane, but the Hurricane defeats Matt Hardy.
What's up with that?
Well, I'll tell you what's. I'll tell you what's up with that. Is that this is it Shane Helms, Gregory Helms, whatever his real name is?
Yeah.
This is his first actual time
Sugar Sheen.
as the Hurricane.
Oh, shit.
Stand back. I love the Hurricane.
I
I
love that.
like the colour of his
Defeated
words,
Rock
though.
that, man.
Not as a champion, though.
No, God, no. I never really got that.
I wouldn't mind if it was tag champ.
Oh, God.
We were involved. Well, we are actually involved with this other big Facebook page with Pro Wrestling World. And beforehand, one of the admins, his favourite wrestler was the Hurricane. And I was
Yeah,
like,
I don't go that far.
no, I was like, are you all right, buddy? He's like, no, the Hurricane and Sasha Banks. And I'm like, yeah, we ain't going to get along, buddy.
I've just noticed I'm on your little ticker tape at the bottom. That's very kind. Thank you.
No, we do that every episode, Ben. All the
Oh,
time.
that's nice. Isn't that nice? Thank
That's
you.
all right, mate. We're just a bunch of nice guys.
Good to know I've got a listener out there somewhere. Eh?
So, Bradshaw's the next champion. He completely obliterates the Hurricane.
This is pre-JBL stuff. And it's just
This is bad. I think 2001, like Bradshaw's in probably the best shape of his life.
Yeah, he's just a mid-card guy at this time, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But did you know that this match, Bradshaw and the Hurricane, it's not a televised match?
It's a title change.
It's title change.
Oh, wow.
They decided to cut it out of SmackDown.
Yeah, why not? It's no relevance whatsoever.
This is the other thing.
Bradshaw, haven't you? He's been with the company for 5 years by that point. Finally wins a singles title and it doesn't even make air.
No, that's got to be pretty pants for him for sure.
But
Again,
also,
this
just
is
imagine
where
if it just stayed in the, imagine if it stayed in the mid card, eh? What 2004
Yeah.
may have looked like.
yeah,
Just kept that belt on Eddie.
this is it. What have I wrote here? Bradshaw next in line.
Yeah, I was a big fan of the JBL run myself.
I was.
Um,
I just love the APA.
I thought he was a twat at the time, but then after a while, I learned to appreciate how good a heel he was.
He was very
Oh,
good.
he's a great heel.
He-
I don't think he was a 1 year run with the belt heel, but he was a great heel.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
I think that we're getting off to different titles, but I just think that one dragged for a good 6 months longer than it needed to.
No, I know what you mean. So,
Can't wait to meet him as well
of course, yeah,
next month.
it's gonna be a good one. So Christian defeats Bradshaw only a week after winning the European Championship.
God.
You know, who keeps the belt for 3 months. I don't think this is a bad run. This isn't too bad for Christian, to be fair. But only a few defenses again. So probably due to the amount of new titles coming in out of the invasion angle, because we had 2 world titles at this point. We had the Intercontinental, we had the European, we had United States, Cruiserweight, 2 lots of tags. It was just getting lost in the shuffle,
Yeah.
you know. But then DDP defeats Christian in a surprising win.
Bang!
Your favourite. Bang!
Yeah.
DDP defeats Christian on January the 29th, 2002. You're right there, Terry. That was a bit of a shock, wasn't it?
Bit of a delay for me.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bang! DDP, yes.
We got DDP and obviously we got DDC right next to us. Then, so
Like it.
we always have to throw it in every time.
Everyone's favourite stalker.
So we're in 2002 now, guys. So we're going to need to remember
Fuck
what
Dexter Loomis.
Dexter Loomis. What's he got to do with 2002?
I said DDP's everyone's favourite stalker. Fuck Dexter Loomis.
Oh, Dexter. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah. Very good point. Well done, Darren. Well done.
Or indeed, Barry Windham.
Oh yeah, Barry Windham.
He was the original.
the original stalker.
Yeah.
Shit.
He was a good stalker. He used to hide in bushes
Well, I'm not. That's before my time.
and crawl through dog muck.
Wasn't he the stalker at Survivor Series 96?
Yeah, he was.
He was a stalker, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But what was he stalking, Ben? Because all I saw was him laying in. All I saw was him laying in very long grass and covered in dog muck on his kneecaps.
He was stalking that elusive WWF title run that never quite happened, I think.
Bloody
to,
did it?
to how I saw it, Ben, it looked like he was stalking a load of cattle in a field.
Yeah, or maybe it was.
So he was looking over the barbed wire fences as well.
He was on Mark's team at Survivor Series 96. He was in the match, but was the debut of The Rock. A little bit of trivia.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that team consisted of the stalker Barry Windham, Mark Miro, Dwayne Johnson, and who was the other guy?
Oh, hold on.
This is a vote. Jake the
Gone
Snake.
off track here, haven't we?
Oh, Jake the Snake. Yeah, he was a great European champion.
He was. Anyway,
Jake
we've gone off
Snake
topic,
Roberts.
I know, but
Carry on.
I just wanted to clear that up. Anyway, so DDP, Diamond Dallas Page, he holds the belt until the night after WrestleMania 18.
He had a
My
good
hero.
run.
He had an okay run.
He had a good bloody run with that belt.
Yeah,
Favourite European champion.
you would say that. I know you would.
D'Lo's a close second.
Now, to be fair, DDP did okay. He did okay in 2000.
It's the only time I was happy with DDP's push in WWE.
The only thing is, though,
I'd
they were
imagine it was the only time he was happy of his time with WWE as well, to be honest.
Yeah.
probably, yeah. He got absolutely obliterated in SummerSlam 2001 by the Brothers of Destruction, and then that was it, wasn't it? He was
Yeah.
trying to put on this happy smiley gimmick.
Yeah, it was good.
Just only because he had new dentures or new, yeah, he had new teeth. Yeah, they're quite white, you know.
Yeah, I'm going to go for white next.
Yeah. You should. I think Terry wears dentures, by the way, Ben.
Yeah, these ain't real, Ben.
Oh, wow.
You got lovely white teeth too, Ben. Are yours real?
They are. Yeah, they're all part of my face.
That's fantastic.
That's fantastic.
He's so
Thank
intelligent.
you.
I told you he's very clever and he's very handsome.
Handsome,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, very, very happy that I have teeth. Yeah, it's exciting. My wife likes
Very
it.
good.
I bet you're not happy when you get toothache though, Ben, are you? Having teeth? Because I don't get toothache.
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often. Got to be honest, never had a feeling quite. You know, they might not be all straight, my teeth, but they are nice and strong. But they are
That
good
is quite
classic
good.
British dentures. Pretty much whenever I speak to an American wrestler, they're always like, "Oh yeah, we can tell you're British." So you know, it is what it is. Got my wonky teeth.
There we go.
Yeah, told you, Darren.
We did tell you, Darren, didn't
He
we?
told you before we went on air his teeth are real.
Yeah, bloody unbelievable. Moving on, guys. Moving on. So, the night after WrestleMania 18, DDP loses the championship belt against William Regal.
Oh, great.
Fuck.
Well, I think this is William Regal's it's his second reign,
See, I'm okay with it because it went to Regal.
Yeah.
but then it goes to Spike Dudley.
Yeah, fuck that.
Then it goes to William Regal again.
Ah,
Yeah,
yes.
that's better.
Yeah.
Although, to be fair, I did find Spike entertaining when I was younger.
I think this was actually good fun. It was good. It was really good fun. But again, I don't know how everyone's outlook was on the European title around this year because
Crap.
it feels lost in the shuffle with the
Oh, yeah.
what do we have? The brand split, didn't we?
Too much going on.
Yeah.
Hot potato, yet again. I hate that. I hate titles just getting chucked around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, William Regal and Spike each hold the belt for a couple of times in a brief feud throughout March until July, where Jeff Hardy defeats William Regal for the championship. So Jeff holds the belt for 2 weeks until it's finally unified with the Intercontinental Championship in a very famous ladder match with Rob Van Dam.
In a match that actually is probably my favourite ever European title match.
Being Rob Van Dam being the final ever WWE European Champion.
Yeah.
That's all she wrote.
That's it. We've got 5 years of this belt.
Oh,
That's
Yeah,
Not very long.
5 years and 50 minutes. Look at that.
And
Ben.
we got 5 years of
bring it-
AEW, and that's died.
And bring
as
it
well.
back. Bring it back. That's what I say. I've
Yeah,
been
bring
campaigning
it-
for the European title to come back for almost 30 years. I think it's great. You know, I think it was a great belt.
it was a great bout for sure. Just wasn't booked that great though. I don't think. You know.
No.
I would have liked them. Me and Sam were saying the other day. We feel like they should have got rid of the North American stuff in NXT and do the European title instead.
Yeah,
I mean, that'd be cool.
I think, you know, we got to take heed of kind of what they're doing with WWE now, like all of the extra titles, like bringing in the women's Intercontinental, the women's US title, all the tag titles. Like they're in very real danger of going back to 2001 WWF with way too many titles for anyone to actually care about.
Yep. I agree.
Terry wouldn't mind us getting rid of all the women's ones, would he?
Just get rid of the whole women's division.
Not a fan, are
Problem
you?
solved. No, I ain't a fan.
But you still need the divas.
I don't need any of it, mate. If I want to watch women, I'll go on over 18-year-old.
Well, to be fair,
sites.
once they get released, they all start OnlyFans accounts.
I don't want to watch women wrestling. Not in that respect. In other ways, yes, but not.
Well, I didn't during this week's SmackDown, to be honest, Mitch.
God.
In 2017, the WWE, well, actually in 2016, but the tournament was held in 2017. They introduced the WWE United Kingdom Championship.
What the fuck has that got to do with it?
Well, at the time,
Young man.
at the time, it was rumored they were going to be reintroducing the European title
Oh.
because they just created NXT UK.
Yeah.
And then before we were then introduced with the United Kingdom
But
Championship.
what happened to that NXT Europe? That was what
Well,
it
this is
could
the
have
other
been
thing
used.
I've got in my notes. Like, we were going to get NXT Europe, weren't we? Which would have potentially reintroduced the European title.
Yes.
And it's
that-
not happened because
that's
Will
not happening
Ospreay chose to go jump around in some gyms.
But, yeah. It was in 2019. It was also rumored to come back, but we
then-
got the 24/7 championship instead.
In the pandemic.
Oh God.
You found a 24/7 title, Ben?
I was not. I think
Ah,
it's
right,
got to
okay.
go down the history. I mean, I'm a fan of a good-looking belt, and that's got to go down the history books as the ugliest belt that's ever been made in wrestling.
I have to agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a fan.
You see, I thought the 24/7 title was going to be good right at the start when they did that whole angle where someone won it at an airport or something. I thought they were going to start doing such cool things with it, and then they just made it a backstage segment every week, and I was like, oh, this is boring.
I knew that bout was screwed the minute
It looked
Tito
terrible.
O'Neill won it.
Always looked terrible, but I thought the concept could have been good. And then they just,
It didn't help that it looked ugly.
yeah.
If it looked pretty, everyone would have been like, that's very nice. Could have got behind it because look at that.
Poor Mick.
28 years later, when this bout was created, 28 years ago, and even to this day, everyone's raving about how good the bout looks and how right now, in today's day and age in WWE, where we've got loads of Europeans on the roster, it would make perfect sense to have it.
Yeah.
Who have we got? I mean, yeah, we can briefly go over
Get
the
rid of that
women.
speed fucking shit.
Well, yeah, it's like crap. What the hell's that bollocks about? But we've got Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, Pete Dunne. Oh God, I'm lost. There's loads of them.
Yeah, there is a lot.
Finn
Tyler
Balor,
Bate. Tyler Bate. Finn
Tyler
Balor.
Bate.
Sheamus.
Charlie Dempsey.
Charlie Dempsey. That's even though he's half American, isn't he?
I don't matter.
His dad's William Regal. It's all good.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You got a little-known guy called Gunter. He could possibly do something with it.
Of
You know,
course,
there's a few guys from Europe. They've got on that roster now.
Yeah.
So this is the other thing. Ludwig Kaiser. There's another great one. Speaking of Ludwig Kaiser, so on the an edition of SmackDown, which was held in Berlin the night before Bash in Berlin last year. The feud between Ludwig Kaiser and LA Knight. Ludwig Kaiser did mention on that SmackDown because he had a hell of a good pop.
Yeah.
He basically was saying the United States Championship should really now be named the European Championship when he wins it tomorrow night at Bash in Berlin. Or something. And the fact that everyone was talking about the European title, that got a pretty big pop on SmackDown. I was just like, the legacy lives on in its own little way.
What they're doing with Cody and Kevin now, couldn't they? With the Winged Eagle coming back, suddenly this belt could have come back, and he could have been walking around with the European title. That would have been great.
Yeah.
That's music to my ears.
And that could still happen in the future.
It's always there.
Big WWE, I've just given you I've given you money right there. That storyline.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Well, this is all recorded. I'm just gonna get.
I almost don't want them to do it though because they might ruin the design.
Well, speaking of designs,
That design is
I've got if I can get this. Oh, see how this is going to work. See if we can. Ooh, this is
It's always dangerous when you bring up your image library on a live feed, isn't it?
Yeah,
pictures
that
of your
is
wife again, isn't it?
dangerous. My wife might bloody kill me. There we go. Phew, that was, guys, that was lucky.
That was really Dyson of danger. That was.
You would not want to go halfway up. I'll tell you that now. So
maybe you would.
We've got this one I found on Google, which is the NXT European title.
I have no problem with that at all.
You know, I would be quite happy with that. Can you see that, Teddy Bear?
I can't see it, no.
It's up above your head there.
See,
might cut me off
wait a
to
minute.
my
This is
headphones.
where Stream... Can you... Look, hang on, guys.
Do you need glasses, young man?
This is where StreamYard is absolutely incredible, Ben. So if I go on share screen...
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Can't explain why you thought it was sheep at all.
And then... see, look, here we go. There we go, see?
Oh, very nice. That's nice.
Ooh. Yeah, so that is a potential... What's the next one?
Oh, Mr. Quake.
Why is them two human beings next to the end having cuddles?
Who's having cuddles?
They're wrestling.
Grappling.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a grapple, is it?
Yeah.
That's some grappling. Some grap.
Here's another concept I found.
Fucking
That
hell,
looks
that
very
was
much like
fucking dodgy.
the light heavyweight title.
I don't like that one.
Yeah, it gives me vibes of the old school Europe, like the new gen European,
Yeah.
and the old
Light
United States
heavyweight.
Championship.
It gives me light heavyweight vibes.
I like that.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
I mean, it's quite attractive.
I like that one.
Yeah.
That's basically it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just a beautiful bout, isn't it?
it is.
It's a cracking looking bout. Where's the hang on, guys. I've lost me
There he is.
where's my mouse? There he is. If I press that button, see.
So if you'll forgive me for doing a cheap plug, but it does fit in quite nicely. So I have a man coming on the show on Wrestling Life this Wednesday who, if he had gone to WWE, would have been a guaranteed European champion. Which I've got a very long interview with Mr. Alex Wright, former US TV and cruiserweight champion, and that belt would have been absolutely ready-made for him had he gone to WWE. So I asked him about his time in WCW and then why he wasn't part of the invasion as well.
Interesting. Nice little plug there, Ben. I like that.
I liked Alex Wright.
I liked Alex Wright.
Yeah, I thought he was great. I actually quite liked him with Disco Inferno as well.
Yeah, still looks great. Still, he has aged phenomenally, and he actually trained Fabian Eichner as well. So Giovanni.
Who's this? Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was his trainer in Germany.
Wow.
Yeah, he's still doing good stuff. Still training people in Germany. Great guy.
Because when I started watching wrestling as a kid, it was WCW, and then I, formed into WWF, like in '97. So like seeing Alex Wright, I really liked him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of took to Alex Wright
Yeah.
on the WCW days.
And former TV champion as well. Love the WCW TV title belt. That is beautiful. Yeah. They just don't make them like they used to, though, do they?
They don't.
No, certainly not.
No.
I'm still hoping that Winged Eagle is going to hang around a bit longer beyond the Royal Rumble.
I'm not joking. When Cody came out with that championship belt, I know Darren's going to laugh at me, but when Cody came out with that Winged Eagle belt and he just revealed it when he took his
You're a Cody crybaby.
I am a Cody crybaby, and I'm
That's
proud of
why.
it. Yeah. I'm going to get the tattoo on my neck and everything soon. But seeing that belt again, it drew tears to my eyes because I just like, there's my childhood, and it's back again.
Yeah,
I know you.
And I was there in Philly for the big moment, and there may have been a little tear come out in the stadium after he won.
He didn't want to see it on mid-card Cody.
Were you at WrestleMania 40?
I was at WrestleMania 40, yeah, and that moment was pretty insane.
Ooh.
I'll tell you what, the moment when the lights went out for the Undertaker, I've never heard a pop like that in all my years of being in a stadium. Incredible.
Wow.
I bet it would have been a bigger pop as Stone Cold come out though, Ben.
But it would have also been a bigger pop if we hadn't all been frozen to the bone at the coldest WrestleMania of all time. That was the only thing that was the disappointed part, was just how cold that WrestleMania was. Very weird watching WrestleMania wearing a woolly hat and a scarf.
Fair.
That's why if you
But
watch
you're British,
night
you should
one
be able
and
to
then
handle
night
the
two,
cold.
you'll see how. Yeah, I know, but you don't expect it at WrestleMania, do you? If you watch that night one of WrestleMania 40, you hear there's no sound throughout the entire thing because everyone's just like struggling to stay warm.
Oh, that's incredible, Ben. Is that the only WrestleMania you've been to as well?
Only WrestleMania I've been to live, yeah. So that was last year was
We've got to go to
a
one.
pretty intense week and a half. Met a lot of people, met a lot of people from WrestleCon, and then SmackDown, Raw, Hall of Fame, and WrestleMania.
Did you go
Tiring.
with Wrestle Tours with Lee McAteer and all that? Was it?
Yeah, that's it,
Yeah. To be fair, like if you ever, for anyone that wants to go to a WWE show abroad, if you stick with them guys, especially at WrestleMania, they're there to hold your hand and guide you through the whole thing. They are just Lee's great, absolutely great guy.
How much we talking, Ben?
Oh yeah, that's a good question.
How much dollar we talking here?
It's not cheap. It's put it this way, it's taken me a long time to pay off. But the good thing about working with Wrestle Tours was you can pay it off incrementally, so they do a payment plan. And I think without that, I'd have never gone. I think that's the reality.
Yeah.
But it's also the logistics of booking a hotel.
Oh, we got to do this.
And getting all the tickets at different stages. You watch it in a suite with Wrestle Tours. So night one and night two, you're up in a suite, which is nice. You're further away, but you do have private access into the stadium and that kind of thing, which does make it a bit nicer as an experience, with a bit of pizza and beer laid on and stuff like that. I mean, it's WrestleMania very interesting to go to WrestleMania as a fan versus watch it on TV, because I got to be honest, I actually think it's better as a TV product. There's a lot of stuff you miss when you watch it live. There's a lot of the kind of nuance of the storytelling, and it's so subjective based on where you're sitting, like the view you get and what you can see. And I couldn't see a lot of the WrestleMania staging. I couldn't even see The Rock's entrance, so you miss quite a lot of that live experience, I think. Whereas WWE's production values are just so perfect now that I think for those big stadium shows, for me, atmosphere aside, it's incredible what you can see on a TV now.
Yeah.
But I've always been more of a fan of the kind of intimate wrestling show than a big stadium, to be honest. Same
100%.
Went to Clash at the Castle, went to All In. I've always come away from stadium shows feeling a bit disappointed. The ones I've loved, my favourite memories, I think it's like one night only until the ending. I went and saw Rebellion '99 at the Birmingham NIA, which was like headlined by Triple H and The Rock in the steel cage, like peak Attitude Era, and I had amazing seats to that. I think if you see wrestling like a 10,000, 12,000 seat arena, you really feel like part of it. I went to that NXT UK tour they did in Cardiff in 2019. I was about 4 rows from the front for Gunter and Tyler Bate. I just felt like properly in the action. But I think with a stadium show, like it's great to be part of it, but there is a real disconnect.
It's interesting because you felt like that with Clash at the Castle, so you were there.
Yeah, so I same again, Ben. I've been to a few like events with WWE, but I did Clash at the Castle in Cardiff, probably same as you.
Yep. Yep.
And it just, something just didn't feel right. I was so far back, and where it's so big, it was, it just kind of felt dead at the same time. I can't explain it. But when I went to Rebellion 2001 with Rock and Austin main event, the crowd was so loud, and that was in the MEN Manchester Evening News.
My favourite experiences of live shows have been the MEN
Yeah.
and the Wembley Arena for the TNA, some of the TNA tours. Like going to big stadiums is a bit different. Like we got good seats ish. We were okay.
You did so
But
well.
if we were
those
sat any
seats all
further
in.
back, you wouldn't be able to see fuck all.
No,
And it's just not cool.
we were
I prefer
Darren
in the
just chose some of the, well, we just struck luck both times, I'd say. Especially this previous year, we went to AEW All In, and we were right near the entrance, and you could see everything.
We won't be doing that again.
No, they won't be filling up Wembley Stadium again, I don't think.
No. What
I
I
go
would
to
say
Forbidden
about,
Door if they pay me.
what I would say about WrestleMania is, as an experience, is like so WrestleCon is incredible. So you obviously don't have to go to WrestleMania for that. They lay that on for all the big four, I think now. But to have that amount of access to so many talent in one room is incredible. And because WrestleCon's spread out over 3 days and so many people are booked, you get like a real kind of immersive opportunity to have long conversations with people. Like I was sat at Ted DiBiase's table for about half an hour just chatting to him side by side, and similar thing with I had Papa Shango for a while, long chat with Charles, just like sitting there because no one was there, because actually, unlike when we have big conventions over here, and there's so much demand for it, isn't it? Because we're so starved at it, and so it becomes so busy. You don't really get that at the American conventions, because there's like 200 talent booked on, and so it doesn't matter how popular the person is, there'll be gaps in the day where no one's with them. So I loved that, because I was literally just going around from table to table, introducing myself, having long conversations, and off the back of that, majority of my guests this year have come off the back of just going up to people at WrestleCon, having a conversation and telling them what I was all about, and exchanging emails.
That's really good.
There it is, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's excellent. So, what about Bret Hart?
What about Bret Hart?
Have you ever met Bret? Have you been able to have that? Are you going to be able to get him on your show?
I've met Bret 3 times. So I met Bret when I was at Bret. So Bret 96 actually called me backstage. Just an insane story. My dad wrote to Bret Hitman Hart, care of Birmingham NEC. I didn't know anything about this, and told Bret, wrote this letter saying, my son's a huge fan of you. I mean, I literally was. Every bit of my wall and ceiling was plastered with Bret Hart pictures. He was my guy. Absolutely. Always still is. And my dad wrote a letter saying, his name's Ben Veal. He's sitting in this seat. It would mean the world to him if you can maybe send him out a signed photo or something. I get halfway through the show. This security guard comes up to me, says, "Are you Ben Veal?" I'm like, "Yeah." Thinking I'm about to get chucked out, like terrified. Like, it's the first ever WWF house show I've ever been to, and I think I'm going to get thrown out. So come with me. And before I know it, this security guard, we walk backstage through the curtain, and before I know it, there's like Vader and the British Bulldog and the Undertaker, and I'm suddenly like in the corridor by the dressing room, and this guy goes, "Bret will be out in a minute." I'm like, "What?" And then the next thing I know, out comes Bret and has a chat with me and takes photos and gives me a signed photo, and yeah. So for me, anyone that's ever got a bad word to say against Bret Hart, I always go back to that moment, because that's 20 years before social media and Twitter and WWE documenting that. That's just a nice guy doing something nice for a kid to make his day, really. So yeah, special guy. So to answer your question, no, Bret Hart is the holy grail guest, I would say, for wrestling life. Who knows? Watch your space. You never know, do you? I certainly didn't think I'd have interviewed the people I've interviewed in the last 18 months. I had a wish list of guests, and I've ticked off a lot of them in the last 12 months. So you don't know.
Oh, well done, Ben. No, good for you. I enjoy watching your content, and you with all these surprise guests, you think holy shit, there's Buff Bagwell. Then you've got Mick Foley. Then you've got Lex Luger. And you think, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really fascinated with anything with Buff at the moment.
You like Buff?
Yeah, because I never watched WCW growing up, so I've always been like a massive WWE little mark. And I've never watched WCW, so I thought I'm going to dedicate and watch 3 years of WCW. And yeah, something about Buff Bagwell I just was really drawn to. I thought he was a really good talent, worked well with the crowd, and knowing his struggles in life and the stuff he's been doing with DDP. And then Sam said to check him out on your channel because you had a chat with him and that. And yeah, I'm just really blown away how he's done like a full circle.
Yeah.
And I get to meet him next month, and yeah, I can't wait.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be cool to meet him.
Yeah, really good guy. Amazing story. Obviously, his journey with sobriety and addiction is really inspiring, and I also think massively underrated. And there's no doubt he should have had a WWF run without question. Like one of the very few genuine superstars that they picked up in 2001 who generally had it and was, apart from anything else, was an immediate video game character and action figure. Like, you couldn't get more of a wrestler than Buff Bagwell. He had it all, and for whatever reason, as he talked about when he was on my show, it wasn't going to happen. And
No.
yeah, but you know, I don't know if you've covered The Invasion. I'm sure you've done The Invasion as an episode, but I mean,
We've done that a few times.
the dark days of 2001.
Yeah, definitely.
Alas.
We haven't done a full Invasion episode yet, have we?
No.
We haven't gone whole deep dive.
We are
into
going to
it.
go.
And we'll get there, and it's going to be controversial for Terry, because Terry just
It's
Can't
going to be
wait.
so depressing
Oh.
to dive through those low points.
can feel it brimming inside.
I think it's going to. I mean, for me, it's a love-hate relationship. It's just kind of the same for you as well, isn't
No,
it?
The Invasion is my...
That's your love.
That's my first love in wrestling, really. That's where it really fucking hooked me into everything.
Yeah.
It was a shame they didn't have all the big stars, but I hadn't watched WCW at the time, so I didn't know that.
Yeah. I
So-
get that. But yeah, no. It's I love what you got on your channel, Ben. You're doing really well. Absolutely love it. Keep it up. Can't wait to see what's coming up next.
Thank you.
And for all of you guys that are here live,
I love what you guys are doing. So thank you for inviting me on.
no, it's our
Thank you,
pleasure.
Ben.
We'll work something out and do something again later down the line. It'd be great fun.
Good stuff.
But everyone else that is watching the TDS Wrestling Show right now, check out Wrestling Life Online with Ben Veal. You've seen it before. You've seen the banner below for months on end. Check him out.
Fireworks!
Oh, bloody hell. Ben, you got freaking fireworks back behind
How
you.
the-
Shit, how the
that was a
fuck-
bang!
how the
Bloody
hell
hell! Yeah, we could use that for DDC.
How did you do that then,
How
Ben?
do you do that, handsome?
No, I just went like that and I got fireworks. That was great.
Oh.
I wish that happened in my real life.
I'm on a delay.
It's not working. Why is it not working? Right then, guys, we're gonna leave you to it, Ben. We're gonna sign off, and thank you ever so much for joining the show. And we've had a blast.
Good stuff.
Ben, you know you went backstage and seen Bret Hart.
Yes.
Were you that kid, Bret?
Oh, I
Was that you?
I had that
Was
hair
that you?
back in the day.
Oh dear.
Could have been you.
Right, we're signing off. Thank you, Ben. We shall see you
guys.
soon.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, Ben.
See ya.
Thank you. Well, what a fantastic experience that was, having Ben Veal on the show.
Right, I can come back to normality now.
You can.
It was
You can.
lovely.
So everybody that's still here watching the TDS Wrestling Show and Pro Wrestling World,
We'll get to the comments now.
we
There's about 7,000.
have got lots of comments. to
Yeah.
We're
catch
sorry,
up
but we were trying to have a whole
It was
four-way
horrible.
conversation, so it's hard to like get to comments at the same time. So thank you, everyone who stuck around. And
So Jordan Kirby,
here.
who remembers the European Championship? Because I don't. Well,
well,
sorry
that's
about that, Jordan.
maybe your baby.
Tyler Pemberton is William Regal considered the best European champion?
No,
He's there.
He's up there.
he's in the top 5.
He's up
Thank
there.
you, young man.
That's right.
I think most people would just say Davy Boy just because he kicked it off, but not for the actual title run.
Yeah, I think it's a
D'Lo,
I think it's a toss up between D'Lo and Xbox.
and then for me personally, DDP.
Josh Cudlip, nice to see you back, DDC. Also, we really needed the European title in the NXT UK days.
And who believes in Joe Hendry? Tonight, is it?
I believe.
Oh,
in Joe
I don't
Hendry.
bloody know anymore.
We'll get to that in the next episode, which you incidentally, I noticed halfway through the episode, I realised you haven't advertised the actual next episode that we're doing, which is following this episode.
Ooh, that's a very good point.
You silly goose.
This is when you realised you fucked up.
I
We'll be
did-
ba-
I held it in for the
hopefully-
entire episode
hopefully
until now. I was
It will
like,
help out with the algorithm. I'll try Pro Wrestling World again as well.
Maybe.
But Mr. Quake, I see you have been here in
He's
spirit.
been busy.
You have been busy, young man. And so have you, Christopher Leclerc.
We'll get
Cora
to the
Jade is in
TNA
Texas for tonight, TNA Genesis.
We will
Ooh,
get to that in the
interesting.
next episode. won't we?
Yeah.
I bet Ava won't bring back the European title. I doubt it.
She don't even know what it is, I reckon.
We need a women's European title. I don't bloody think so.
Oh, yeah, we do.
NXT UK Insurrection. That would be cool. That would be cool. MJR, how you doing?
Yeah.
He's walked the dog, Michael.
I'm
He's done
here.
it. He's
The
walked
dog's
the dog.
been walked.
Oh, dear. Right then, guys, we're going to sign off. We thank you.
And we will be back
We'll be back. We are going to be back.
in about
TNA Wrestling Show. Sexy Sam Watts, the pigs are busted. They say his name and he will appear. Bye bye. This is the TNA Wrestling Show.